congregation's General Service of Justice, Peace and Integrity of Creation met at the General House from August 26th to August the 30th. This was the annual assembly of the General Service. And this year, two important things were dealt with. Environmental justice, that is under Laudato Si, and ministry with migrants and refugees.
I'd like to share about our meeting of JPIC General Service this year. Especially this year, our main theme was service to the migrants and refugees. Our director, Father Generic, arranged such a way the meeting. We had an opportunity to listen a lot of talks on migrants and refugees, and especially Miss Catalina delivered a talk on migrants in common aspect. It was very nice to talk, and I personally came to know a lot of things about the migrants, and I learned in which way we too can design an action plan for the service to the migrants and refugees. And in special talk given by Father Mario from Sahara, it is amazing. He shared his experience, and then I personally, I was in Sahara. At that time, I am also in Sahara in spirit. Then I also gave a talk on migrants, and then in nutshell, I can share something in which way the oblates we can respond to the service to the migrants and refugees. The church and oblates have responded to the cry of refugees and migrants by providing consoling pastoral care. The oblates in all 5 regions are involved in different capacities in the pastoral care of refugees and migrants. The mission is to proclaim Christ and His kingdom to most abundant, especially those whose conditions cries out for salvation and hope. Migrants and refugees are the most abundant people in the world today, that we all know that. And what is our responsibility? To aid them in accordance with our charism and mission. There are those oblates who connect with the poor and share their lives and dedication to justice. And we also follow the same what they are doing, and that's a duty of us that JPIC General Service, we have to have a solid action plan and share with our units, and we have to start work with the migrants.
Jean-Eric put together a very strong agenda for us to work on, and we spent a lot of time working on immigration and refugee issues this week. As we consider the mandates of our past chapter, remember, we don't always look only at the past chapter. We look at the ones before it too. And so in discerning the new faces of the poor from the previous chapter, one of the new faces of the poor we've been called to deal with is the issue of migrants and refugees. And so we had some extended time to listen to a presentation and various experiences from people who work in this ministry. What's also interesting is not just the fact that we discuss things. JPIC people are known to discuss lots of things. We're being an order of preachers, being a congregation of preachers rather, we are want to express our views verbally, and we're very, very effective at it.
And one of the things that we did consider with migration is the fact that so many people forced to leave their homes and everything and everyone they know to seek a better life, many, many lose their life seeking this betterment for themselves and their families.
In reflecting on ministry with migrants and refugees, the first thing that we became aware of is that migration is not a new reality in the world. It has existed for a long time. But what is new is our awareness of the challenges that are faced by migrants today, especially those who are forced to leave their homes. There are many challenges, it is a complex reality, and we have committed ourselves to try and understand the different aspects of this reality. Secondly, we are aware that there are some oblates who are already involved directly in ministry with migrants and refugees. For example, the oblates in Western Sahara, but also the oblates in the USA who are doing ministry on the border with Mexico. They daily have to face challenges of people trying to cross borders, and they are ministering to them. But we also would like to hear of other oblates who are involved in ministry with migrants and with refugees, and how together we can develop a congregation-wide response to this challenging face of the poor today.
While many oblates around the world engage in direct ministry with migrants and refugees, we observe that the congregation does not currently have a coordinated response to immigration. We'll begin to address this issue in the coming month. That is our promise. So, we have a statement. Firstly, we recognize migrants and refugees as one of the many faces of the poor today. In response to the gospel and in union with the universal church, we want to give greater attention to ministry with migrants and refugees as one congregation. We recognize that cry of migrants and refugees call us to solidarity and prophetic action. We invite every oblate, every unit, and all members of the family oblate, charismatic family, to give this ministry priority according to local circumstances and needs. Together we can work on it. We are willing to be aware that oblates around the world are responding in different ways to migrants and refugees. We resolve to facilitate within the congregation dialogue and discernment on how to strengthen our response to ministry with migrants and refugees. So our statement is very important for you and for me. We thank all oblates, all units for their efforts to implement the last chapter 2022 through one and other action related to the service of JPIC, especially in the way to care for the common home. Thank you, my brothers.